Hello, sweet friend. How are you today? I am doing pretty good. So it's just going to be a quickie today. I want to do a Dutch pour, but I want to do a Dutch pour in a different way. Not in a different way, but I want to put the colors in a different fashion. So what I'm seeing in the end is the Dutch pour coming from the side of the canvas towards the center and just surrounding these three corners, leaving a negative space over here. And I want to group the colors. So over here, I want to do pink, magenta, and purple. And then over here, I want to do two different blues and a phthalo turquoise. So that's what I'm seeing in my head. Will it work? I don't know. So the paint I'm using today is all mixed with Floetrol. I'm going to show you the consistency of my white. So it's a nice fluid consistency. Colors are all golden fluid colors. And they are mixed differently because they are fluid. You don't need as much. So what I did was I put Floetrol, probably half of this little tiny cup, and then I put about a quarter teaspoon of color because you don't need much of it at all when you're using fluid colors. And you see it runs off the stick. Nice consistency. Not as thin as I usually do. Dutch pours, I usually like it a little bit thinner, but as long as you're able to move the colors, that is a good thing. Let's put it that way. It's a good thing. Okay. So again, pink, magenta, and purple are going to be the first three that I do. So I'm just going to put some white on the canvas here. And this is a gallery wrapped 12 by 16 canvas. Gallery wrapped means it's the best quality. It's got the thick sides. And on the back, it's not stapled. It's tucked into the actual wooden frame. So I'm just going to put a mess of white paint on here and spread her around town. I forgot to bring my OXO spatula out to spread my paint. And boy, am I missing it right now. That thing works beautifully. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt this around to cover the whole canvas. I like to have a nice flat, even surface when I work on top of white paint. Now, I want to address something about speckles. Speckles of white in your paintings, whether you're doing the bloom technique or you're doing any of these other techniques, the reason why you get specks of white in your painting when you torch is because your paint has a lot of air bubbles in it. Look at that mess, huh? So what happens essentially is your paint, your colored paint that you blow around on your canvas has a ton of air bubbles in. So you blow it around, you move it around, you go to torch, and those bubbles pop and you're seeing the white of that's on the canvas underneath showing through the colors. That's what's happening with the bloom technique also. The way to avoid that is to torch as many bubbles as you can before putting your colors down, and to also torch again after you put your colors down before you blow them around. That's one way to avoid them. Another way to cut down drastically on those is to mix your paints ahead of time and let them sit overnight so they have a chance to calm down and all those bubbles will pop. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them will. For the Shelly technique, or the Sheely Art Bloom technique, whatever you want to call it, that technique, the paint is so thick, and what we do is we're using house paint on the bottom, like what I'm putting down here, what she calls her pillow, what I'm calling a base, base layer. We get that paint shaken up at the store before we buy it because it's in a can. It's house paint. I do not let them shake mine anymore. I know it's a pain in the butt to sit there and mix it by hand, but let me tell you something. I got rid of 90% of my bubbles when I started doing that. So it does help. So if you're buying the house paints, just take it off the shelf and mix it at home nice and slowly by hand, and it will help a lot. So I am going to torch right now. As soon as I get my glove on, it doesn't want to go on. I'm going to torch right now. I'm going to get as many of those bubbles as I can out of this white. Now, if you're using house paints, you really shouldn't be torching. I do. If you do it really quickly, you can get away with not burning the paint. But if you ever did something like this right here with house paint, you would see all these little specks of burnt paint. So that's why I just love mixing it by hand. It really doesn't add that much work, if you ask me. Some people will say it's a nightmare. I don't think so. It mixes up pretty easily. Just picking little things out of my paint there. Okay, we're ready. I'm going to torch it one more time. You let it sit for a few minutes, and between each torching, some more will pop up. And believe me, it will help a lot. It'll cut down on them. You really need a toothpick. Okay. Okay. So let's see, how are we going to do this? I want to do the lighter to darker, I think. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to do some lines of color. Just like that. Stop right there. Let me put the magenta down next. I don't think the order really matters. And then the purple. Then up here, I'm going to do ultramarine blue. Phthalo turquoise. Oh, look at this. It's odd. And then the purple, which is dioxazine purple. And I hope I'm not too close to the edge here. I'm going to take some white and surround them. And then we're going to come this way also. Okay. So I'm going to blow backwards and then forwards. On low, cool heat. I'm not used to this blow dryer. Okay, and now I'm going to try to blow it out. Went the totally wrong way there. Oh, this is beautiful. All right, so now that we got that done, we're going to try to blend these two together a little bit here with my airbrush. And make it not look so not straight. We got to get it to move out a little bit. I like that wispy edge. That's what I'm trying to do right now. Like so. Don't want to get carried away there. I just want them to meet lightly. Just like that. just like so. And just fix these two here. All right. And then I am going to blow out this one other area here and we'll be done. I really like the composition of this, so I don't want to mess with it too much. Okay, that's it. So let me give you a close-up. That is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. You know, maybe I should fix down here too. I get scared though, because this is where I can do something and go overboard and ruin a whole painting. So, gotta be careful. So just right here. Just a bit. All right, that's it. Nope, I lied, right? Oh, let's get a little color in here too. Don't know if I necessarily like that. Nah, that's okay. That's all right. Okay. I'm done, I promise. So let me just torch it quick. So now, because I torched it really good, and those colors that I used were mixed up from before and didn't have a lot of air bubbles in them, I didn't get any specks. All this white that you're seeing through here are circles, are cells. Those are not the white specks we're talking about. So it looks really good. I'm going to give you a close-up now. I'm almost wondering if I should tilt this corner here just a little bit. But then it's going to change the composition. So no, I'm not going to touch it. We're going to leave it alone. And that is our demonstration for the day. So this is exactly what I had pictured in my mind. I want to display, or whoever buys it, I want it to be displayed like this. That's how you're looking at it. That's how I envisioned it being hung. Mr. Ring Light is in the way. Let's go this way. Love that area. It's almost wintry looking. And that is going to look beautiful resined, which I will resin it as soon as it dries. I will wait to resin it probably 2 weeks. that is it, my friends. Let's go from this side here. Whoop-de-doop-de-doo. Unfortunately, from this view, the ring light is just a pain. Floetrol really created a lot of cells in that one. All the little white cells. It does that sometimes. Nonetheless, I think it is gorgeous. And I hope you do too. So, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Check out the links in the description box. Don't forget, Color Art, my coupon, the 25% off, expires December 31st, and it's going to go down to 20%. So if you want to get any of those beautiful colors, you can go to colorart.com and check it out. I have a video coming up tomorrow with a few of the colors from the new set. And yeah, join my Facebook group, United We Pour with Tammy and Lisa. And also, I have a featured artist section on my homepage of YouTube. I've just added 2 more artists on there, and that would be Tracy Redesigns and Dirty Artist. They asked me to be part of a collaboration as far as, inspiring one another and helping each other grow. That's what it's all about. That's what all of this is all about. Inspiring, helping, and just having a good time. So go on, check them out. I have other great artists on there. Canella Sirocco, Lisa Wyatt, bunch of them. All right, so go check out those beautiful artists. And I hope you guys all have an amazing day. Happy pouring.